Hello, welcome to the second workshop in our series of 4 for the Take It Back project. This is a project around making zines and creatively exploring experiences of madness, mental illness, neurodiversity, and in mental health services. This project has been commissioned and supported by Unlimited, celebrating the work of disabled artists with funding from Creative Scotland. The video shows my hands, the hands of a white non-binary person at my desk, which is strewn with bits of zines and tarot cards. You should all have received your pack with zines and materials. I'm showing the Take It Back workbook zine to the camera, which is an oversized zine with a yellow cover and white writing reading Take It Back. If you haven't, get in touch via takeitbackzines@gmail.com and we'll sort you out. These workshops are designed to be done both synchronously or all at the same time, or asynchronously, so all at different times. You can either show up to the Zoom room on the date and join other people, or watch these videos in your own time. This is an acknowledgement of the different ways people work. Today, as our activity, we're going to be having a go making our own mad tarot cards. These activities are sort of designed to try and get us experimenting and thinking and making, and then you can continue with the activity in the second half or carry this momentum through to some other making, whether that's zine-based or otherwise. It might be that the zine you make at the end of this project documents some of this exploring, or it might have nothing at all to do with it. Once again, my cat will feature heavily in this video. For this workshop, we're going to be talking mostly about using collage, so you might want to grab paper, some old newspaper, magazines, anything you might want to cut up, and scissors or a glue stick. However, if you don't have to use collage if you don't want to or don't have these things available. Get together something you'd like to use to create with, and I'll meet you back here in 2 seconds. Now seems a good time to mention that there is a small amount of funding left to provide materials if you don't have access to them. If there's something you need, whether that's scissors, glue, paper, pens, magazines, whatever, then send an email to takeitbackzines@gmail.com. So this is a spread about Mad Tarot from the zine workbook that you should all have had through your door in the last few days. If I can find it. Tarot cards started as playing cards before being developed and used for tarot card readings in the 18th century. I don't particularly stand anywhere on the spiritual side of tarot. What I find interesting and valuable about tarot cards and reading my own cards is exploring various meanings or angles of approach that I hadn't considered or given attention before. Tarot cards themselves tell a story. It starts with the Fool, who sets out on a journey and who meets various people along the way, as well as going through different tests, lessons, and challenges. The cards have different interpretations and have quite fluid meanings. Different artists have focused on different aspects of the same cards, so the deck that you use can also shape the meanings that you kind of derive from the cards. The cards that I'm laying out on the table now are the Rider-Waite deck, illustrated by Pamela Colman Smith, and they're probably the most popular cards in use, but there are lots of other different types. So I started exploring making my own mad tarot cards to explore and subvert the idea of our experiences as journeys. I also wanted to find a way to bring my experiences into the present. I often find it hard to figure out my relationship to my kind of past, and it can all feel very disconnected sometimes. So this allows certain moments to remain significant and gain new meaning, no matter how much time passes or how far away I am from the kind of original event. But before I discuss some of my own tarot cards, I wanted to share another subverted tarot deck. This was one created by the Asian American Literary Review. It was collaboratively made and created to explore archetypes of the Asian American experience. So the major arcana here has some very different cards from a traditional deck. And each has a short paragraph on the back from the artist who created it. And I'll just read you this one. The Patient is the 6th card in the Major Arcana. Arcana is like a way of organising the cards. She imparts her anger to those who are willing to listen. Those who seek her wisdom learn they must not fetishize illness or look to the patient for answers. Sometimes mistaken for a victim, the patient is not patient, and she is more than a patient. Patienthood can represent her whole self or something other than a hospital gown, but never just her illness. The card is often associated with death, which is inevitable, an indicator of life but also of mortality. Note the middle finger. It reveals more of the patient's message. The journey has been full of rage as well as moments of clarity, fear as well as peace. Like the doctor, whose arrogance cost them compassion, the patient can be a warning to self-examine. The patient is a long, hard look at our mortal selves and a reminder that we are all guests in our healthy bodies. Your body is already failing right now. By seeking understanding and accepting the more embodied aspects of yourself, you accept your imperfect self. The patient symbolizes a knowledge of the limits of your body, but does not restrict you to only being a body, only being a patient. Jennifer Ho. So I'm just going to talk about a few of the different cards and their meanings in my deck, and then we'll have a go making our own versions of the Fool, which is the first card in the traditional tarot deck. So first up, this is my Tower card. You can, I'll put as well the one from Rider-Waite for comparison. For some people, the Tower isn't such a positive card. It's this destruction of certainties and known things with this huge bolt of lightning from the sky. I prefer to think of the Tower, at least in my Mad Tarot deck, as being about the destruction of the organisations and institutions of power that oppress and pathologise madness and other experiences. So for this card, I used an image from the Wellcome Collection's online library of images, a public domain one, which means you can use it freely in collage, of a hospital block. In the image, it's under construction, but I prefer to imagine it's in the process of dismantling. The Magician is a card that's like a gateway into the other cards of the Major Arcana. It's the first card after the Fool, who we'll discuss in a second. But rather than choosing a figure for my card, I instead drew from a kind of memory of an experience and used some of the images from that, keeping it simple with water, a bridge, and the sense of another world or another side of things that you cross over to. So today I'm inviting you to have a go creating your own tarot card, and I thought we'd all start with the Fool as it's the first card in the deck. Don't worry if you know nothing about tarot. What's important is what you personally take from the prompts. So the Fool is all about setting off on a journey of self-discovery. The rest of the cards tell the story of this journey, but at the start the Fool is setting off, often with a bag or with a staff or a dog. They're often portrayed with blue skies in a kind of optimistic vibe, although there can be dark clouds ahead. They are often about to step off a precipice or over a bridge. In my card, I'm crossing the threshold of a hospital ward. On the Padlet for the workshops, which the link will be posted either in the chat or if you're in the Zoom room, or it's below the video on YouTube, you'll find a template for a Fool tarot card. You can print this out to work on it, or you can just work on your own in front of you. And alongside it is also a PDF guide to some of the symbols used in the Fool card. You can draw on these or make your own. Maybe you want to represent yourself at a particular time in your life, or maybe you want to use the card to think about where you are now, or maybe you don't want to represent yourself at all, but instead a more general person or a specific symbol that really stood out to you from the card. I use collage for my tarot cards because it allows me to play with different symbols and think about what I want to include without the stress of drawing faithfully. So I'd invite you to give this a try. Alternatively, you can draw or even use words to describe your card. It'd be great to see anything you've made, so there's a channel in the Padlet to add pictures of any cards you've worked on. Just press the little plus button at the bottom of the column. A reminder that the final 2 workshops will be next Tuesday the 16th from 10 till 11 a.m. and then Wednesday 24th November 7 till 8 p.m. Any questions? Get in touch at takeitbackzines@gmail.com.